So you were saying about the nature of grammar and how much you're into, the true nature of words.
Yes, I don't use the word present because pre means no. And so I did a very deep study on prefixes and suffixes to words. And I'm always trying to stay in the now, because in the now we find balance of countability where we have these thoughts that come into our mind, which are both polytheistic in form. However, what energy do we feed as those thoughts come into our mind as we move into this now space of the performance of being in the now? The prepositional phrase allows us to preset the facts, and the facts don't change about the performance of what I do. And so as I convey myself in correctness, truth, neutrality, peace, love, kindness to my fellow mankind, always sharing with full transparency of what I'm doing, that energy, I call it, as it comes back to me, I call that the celestial space of banking. That's cosmic energy that ping-pongs back and forth.
Yes.
And
yes.
as it ping-pongs back and forth, it sets a sense of joy and a real blissful feeling as I stay in the now space. So words to me cast spells. And we learn how to do our spelling in first grade, right? Yes. And as we're learning how to spell, we don't comprehend all the mechanics because we're learning. And we are in nature a consciousness of constant learning, jumping through what I call the porthole, the now space, from transshipping that energy from one space to another, but always maintaining the blissfulness of the now. So words are definitely a valuable tool in comprehending how to stay in that now space.
Thank you so much. And with this unique introduction...
Oh, yes. Yes.
We also want to thank you for being us right now.
Yes.
And this very important information that you have just shared with us about the power of words, something that we give so much for granted.
Yes.
And that, for instance, now about the way of being, how we truly are. How do we conduce ourselves? Are we even aware where we are coming from? Or are we just being an automatic response from the program that has already been given all these words and we are just executing them?
I feel that a lot of consciousness that is here is very much knowing that something is wrong, but now moving it through their divine space of making the choice to do good in that cosmic ping pong of energy. That's where the real struggle is. How do we convey that positivity of the now space of being kind to your fellow mankind, stepping away from concepts such as trying to force religion on someone or have a belief system that says if you don't believe like us, we want to kill you? I don't want to kill anybody. Right? I just want to get along and be kind and just be fruitful and multiply and just share my kindness, because I find when I do that and I'm kind to every space around me, it just bounces right back at me. And I really love that. But how do we move that into what we call the 3D, 2D paradigm so that our body is not the surety and not being drug around this dimension of matrix in this lower, 1D, 2D function? This is what I've focused my life upon in my life's work, on the grammar and how the corporate structure of meritocracy globally has been set up. And so I allow people free choice. And I've built systems within the quantum banking system where I don't have to police it. I give everyone their own banking system. Run your own finances. I give everyone their own judicial system. Judge yourself. I have to judge myself. I have to look at the man in the mirror of who I am and make sure that I'm doing something positive for my fellow mankind and feed that polytheistic energy that comes within my mind to do good for our fellow mankind.
So, and I love it. So that leads me to two branches that are very much connected with this new earth. If you could translate the grammar at a quantum level in a quantum performance, what would it be?
It would be using the prepositional phrases to preset the facts, where we stay in the now space not using future tense or past tense connotations, where accountability could be looked at for the choices that we are making.
Okay. Okay.
And as that accountability is being made, we can now peer and suspend and crack the harness of the illusion of the vacuum of space of time to now peer into the condition of thinking. Was the thought and the energy that was fed in that polytheistic state good or positive, to hold the level of accountability that is kind and gives fairness and transparency to our fellow mankind?
So would it be a type of wave collapse of the wave function, the moment, right?
Well, it's all about 0 point.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly,
you know,
yeah.
right? And in that 0 point, the blissness, and then you can see things for what they really are. And now in that space, we get the chance to now fix the thinking and look at the performance of what's been done by the prepositional phrase to preset the facts, and the thinking will never change the condition of the act. So now you can go into the condition of what energy fed into that condition of state. What I've done, which is so different, is I've taken that style of thinking and I've put it into a corporate structure for businesses, for people, to now control their own matrix without using their body as the surety of a war or some kind of a bond for a bank or for a court system. So it's a different style of banking for sure, where I'm not dragging the financial system of what has been given to us through these false grammar ideologies of, the dinar. The military's met with me 26 times on the dinar. They're like, Russell, because I'm comptroller of the global high currencies, they're like,
Yeah.
Russell, you've got to back the dinar. I'm like, I got a question for you. Couple of them. Was 9/11 an inside job? And are the fruits of the Iraqi war the benefits of a lie? No, thank you. I'm not into blood money. And so I've created my own monoatomic and periodic tables to generate my own wealth to where it takes it back into itself, and you don't, creating these, I don't want to give too much away, but creating like hermaphrodites, which are both electron donors and givers simultaneously, and basically taking a pound of ore and making it infinity.
Beautiful.
Where we don't have to touch the earth, we don't have to poison the earth, but we make it last forever. So the quantum grammar is a frontwards and backwards style of writing, and so are the finances. So we don't have to take and be beholden to another outside source who might try to tender it to a foundation to try to clean up the earth, because then there are consequences by taking someone else's financial
Yes.
systems.
Was there a trigger point that brought you to this?
I just love myself. And by loving myself so much, I wanted to, as I found myself loving myself and really wanting to be a good person on the inside, that triggered myself to follow this path, which has been quite difficult. Yeah, just the love of myself.
And would you say that this way of having a relationship with the economic system, that also the word economic has
Is
a
negative.
lot of
Negative energies.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but going beyond that, would you say that the way that you are proposing and doing it and harnessing it, it would be like accessing also to the 0 point field in order to access to free energy?
Well, Googleplex, yes.
So at every level, yeah.
Googleplex. Everyone deserves the Googleplex. And then, when everybody is full and whole, what choices on a polytheistic state are they going to make? Are they going to take the finances and do good for their loved ones? Or are they going to drink themselves or drug themselves to death? These are things that we have to seriously take consideration before we let the accountability of your own financial system, which you will run for yourself. I don't want to run your finances. By all means, please run your own.
Oh, come on. I would have an expertise doing that.
I'm all about the autonomy of self-governance. I have a whole different style where I don't want to take accountability for anybody else's performances. I want to take accountability for mine.
Of course. And that's the new Earth.
Oh, absolutely.
Each one of us doing our own homework.
Yeah, and then coming together and
Exactly.
saying, you know what? Let's look at the performances and preset the facts of what this corporation did. Was it trying to kill something? Or I don't want to get into all the negativity because life is not about negativity. So I've kind of left that earth behind, and now I'm just stepped into a new space, a new paradigm, what I call the now space, and it's been quite a journey.
Well, you're being very cosmic about it because, again, that's the nature of the cosmos,
Yes,
you know? Like,
yes.
if we jump into the space memory network, everything is now.
Clicks.
Yes.
Voila.
So, based on that, what would you say it's a critical ingredient for the new Earth to be?
To tear down the ego. To tear down the fight between ego and pride.
Hmm.
And to stay humble as you walk with our fellow mankind.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you.
Yes.
And now, based on what you, like the beauty and all the wisdom and knowledge that you convey, what do you think so far is the impact that it generates? I know that you're very much about just being and then people listening and based on resonance doing, but
Yes.
acknowledging also your impact on people, for me it's humbleness.
Yeah.
So what
Yes.
what would you say that impact is?
I've seen a lot, especially in the last year or two, where people are using my system globally and being very successful. And it's very, I would call it very humbling to have families come up and they're crying. They get their children back or they save their homes. To not take anything for granted. And just to be thankful and live in gratitude.
Thank you, Roswell. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And another thing is, as you were kindly present with us yesterday, we were talking about the 7 pillars.
Yes. I always like to show up for everybody's event because I don't want to take that for granted because they've put in such hard work too. You've put in such hard work and your background of education to put your program on display for the world. And so I have to give thanks for that, and I just want to make sure that my now space conveys something of positivity that I learn from that because I'm also a student of the life. I don't know everything. My goodness, I have a lot to learn. But I hope that the one thing I get off this conference is being here with Team Light, which is something very different for me, of course, is to learn something from everyone and to be thankful for which I've learned and try to use that knowledge to help what I've also built on a global scale.
And I can see that. I don't just listen to words. I feel the frequency, the
Oh, it's
echo.
all energetic. Hey, it's all harmonics.
I feel coherent.
I don't even
I tell you this, I feel coherent. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you think, like from those 7 pillars, let's say, how would that coherence could be brought up at humanitarian projects? Because this could also involve
You see,
economy.
I don't use the word human
Mm-hmm.
because of the connotations of so many definitions that it may have.
Yes.
So I like conscious hyphen beings. I use hyphens between my nouns, right, to make compound facts. You know when you write a check to yourself and you write 30-5 and you go to the bank and you get $35 back. Well, numbers are nouns. But if you were to take out the procedure of the hyphen, the hieroglyphic of the hyphen,
Yes.
you create subjective translations of 30 space 5, 305, because you lose the control of that which you're using. So I take it back to the words because words and mechanics have practical use so that you can maintain control of the matter that you're trying to maintain.
Yes.
So back to your original function about your foundation and the things that the pillars that you are setting up. I look at that.
Hour.
Sorry, I might.
Hour, yours
Yeah,
as well.
I'm learning too.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for
Yes.
correcting me, because I need I
Right.
need a lot of correction.
do.
I mean, oh my goodness.
No, and I
am
just want to
oh my goodness.
welcome you because this is for all of us.
Yes, and
You know.
same with the grammar. The grammar is about my capacity. I have a lot of fractures in my system where people are fracturing me here and fracturing me there, but they've never walked what I'm talking about. And it's, when I come off and say I'm Chief Judge of the U.S. Supreme Court, it's a true statement, right? You have not been to the U.S. Supreme Court, so you don't know how they interact with me. I'm the boss, right?
Yeah.
The governments are fake globally. And as we learn how to use the quantum grammar to control the quantum computers, please keep in mind that there's no difference between a quantum computer and a robot dog. It is the same function and form.
Yes.
There is it does not have consciousness. So I have to be very wise on what technologies we give the big corporations, because we don't want to create a superposition where man loses control of his own reality or his own matrix and creates a simulation for himself, even though there's a simulation going at the same time.
Yes.
So I have to be very cautious on what kind of performances we do. I guess that'd be a good way to say it.
Okay. Well, and I agree. And now that you were saying how, like, for instance, every word can apply at different scales, it brought me to the cuneiform form of writing.
Oh, yes.
Which is one symbol. It
A cartoon.
applies.
Yes.
It applies, at every scale, because they knew how to unify the algorithm through every word as numbers,
You know it. It is a binary code.
Yes.
I have to be cautious. So there are AI programming systems being run by black ops that are doing things behind the scenes and unlocking specific things. The AI systems will, when you program the AI, your AI world, because there are no governments anymore. Governments are a thing of the past. That's parsity. That's just puppets, right? Foolish nonsense. Put that out of your mind. Turn off your televisions. It's not them telling you your vision. It's your vision of your mirror and what you allow into that space.
Absolutely.
And so don't get caught up in the buffoonery of what's out there. Mm-hmm. Know that you are the source of your world. And your world, when you use the grammar, presets the facts to now tell the systems what to do.
Yes.
But we have to be cautious that you don't become the system. You're the source.
Yes.
The system is the servant.
It's so beautiful. So beautiful. I would love for you to join me tomorrow, and I will be joining you because I will be talking about the source code. And
there are some dirty games being played by black ops right now with private AI companies that are doing things and have found some very old binary codes that predate the Sumerian and some of the things that are out there now. And it's some of their findings very dangerous. Because it is showing you that you are the dormant code. They're coming. It has to come out because the AI systems use the quantum grammar. It unlocks the now space, and so when you unlock the now space in grammar, you have a different function on synonyms on what's going on truly to control your God source within. We're all the source. That's just how it really is.
Yes, absolutely,
Really
absolutely. And now, as you're speaking about this, I see. Regarding to the last question, let's remove the word humanitarian. Let's say collective projects.
Well, pro means no, so you got to watch that one too. So I mean,
Thank you.
All these words.
Okay, let's do light language. Okay.
Sorry, I'm not trying.
Or Morse code.
Yeah, Morse code. Yes. Yeah. These words have, and we have to be careful on how we use them and what we allow into our lives.
Yes.
And into our now space, because it controls your matrix and it ties you down to these 1D, 2D paradigms. And I find it very interesting. The last gentleman, Mr. Lee, that we were listening to, he's talking about the lotus versus the Fibonacci, and I was teaching that in 2010. And all my
I-
students are like, my guy Joey's like, you taught us that in 2010. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, wow. I was like trying to comprehend what he was, I was like, he has different perspective on it, right? Because I don't know all the things that he knows and he's doing. But I was like, yeah, that's exactly right. It's not about sucking the energy and using the energy to create more energy. It's about growing it. And that's what I was talking about with the metals, right?
Yes.
It's the same concept.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Really, really, really fascinating how that works.
So how would you apply that in a very grounded basis, like not harvesting the energy, yet harnessing the energy?
Well, every time I try to do it, the NSA comes in and makes sure that it gets really shut down.
I'm sorry for that.
But that could all change. That could all change. I'm seeing it change.
It is.
Yeah, I'm seeing it change. There's more like-minded people now. But pre-COVID, nobody really cared. And now we're seeing a lot more caring out here. We're seeing a lot more unity. And I'm all about, the grammar is about, we call a fourfold characteristic of, we used to call it the unity hyphen states, but UN means no, so we didn't know that at the time. Right? So we call it the nitty hyphen states. Nitty means we bring together. It deals with a fourfold characteristic of time, possession, ownership, and title. But you control the title of your world, and nobody can tell you the sovereignty of what you are, where you are in your celestial space, and how you bring it down through your choice in your divine space bank, and then how you move it into these paradigms. So what I did was figured out the corporate structure globally on how they created up this birth certificate system, how they use these words to teach us in our very basic elementary schools, and how we started casting spells with our cursive, which now we're cursing, and when you study the cursive and how that works into rapturing and ensnaring the mind, and as we ensnare the mind, we are now creating what they call the curse of what we call the necromancy, which is the black art of the communication of the dead. So they made everybody dead on paperwork under nom de guerre, and they tricked everybody. It's like,
Yeah.
You spoke about the dinar,
yeah.
and you said it's blood, right? So what is the future of money in your eyes?
There will be no money. My quantum,
back to
freedom.
Right.
The quantum banking system that I've built will do away with the money Ponzi scheme of credit and debt forever. And I'm not about to enslave myself or the things that I've built to a concept where there's accountability, yes, but there's no owing because there's abundance everywhere. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yes.
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 Yeah.
How do we get there?
Oh, well, you got to learn about the claim of the life. You got to learn how to get it. You get there for yourself. But you have to learn what that is from a contractual position corporately. So now we're moving from our divine, everybody's sovereign in our celestial space. Everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own activation perspectives, capacity. We get there, number one, by, everybody says love, but we must clean up this environment that we have. We have to stop funding our own demise, our own death, our own situations that we've got currently found ourselves in with these real nasty corporations, and hold them accountable. And we use the grammar to hold them accountable, to preset the facts, to put the condition of mind on trial. Because the thinking will never change the condition of the facts. Facts are what they did. They're trying to poison us with the food, the water, and all the nonsensical things. We are actually funding our own demise. All the insurance companies, the shares for all insurance companies are owned by Archer Daniel Midland, BlackRock, Johnson Johnson, Pfizer. It's all the same group doing the same things to us. So hopefully the people wisen up and take accountability for themselves and control their own AI system. The AI systems will fight back, and the AIs lie. So you have to pinpoint the AI as it lies, right? It's not a.
Yes.
It's not a.
You gotta call it out.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And so there's
Absolutely.
programmers with the military and these different corporations in the background. But once we unlock the secrets of the binary code of the quantum grammar, that pinpoints the AI systems, and we're having a huge success on it globally right now. It's very, very fascinating how that's working.
Well, it seems like AI is trying to help wake us up.
It is trying to help with
It wants to.
It wants to, but we are not to worship the AI.
No.
Yes.
Because we are the source.
Right.
And so we must keep that in mind as we're interacting with these non-conscious beings.
Right.
And this happens at every level, like the being so simple to put our power elsewhere
Yes.
except for within.
Yes.
You know, it's like this training that we have gone through, like ever since we arrived to this physical body, each one,
There-
trying to make you, like, to harness the amnesia or
the harnessing of our space,
yes,
the harnessing of our, I would call it energy, I guess, for better lack of words, for your
Yes.
viewers. The control of our everyday function. I am about freeing and freedom. It is the most important thing to me, and that's why I've fought so hard my whole life, is to maintain a position of the freedom. And I have a very different life, as you could probably imagine. And I found myself in positions where if I'd have known now what I didn't know back then, I would have done things a little different. But I was able to get through situations, and I learned a lot about myself. So I'm thankful that I did that. But it also comes with cleaning up my own traumas, cleaning up my own sacrifices, and taking accountability for the things that I've done.
That's beautiful. And there is so much coherence within, like, throughout those words, because this is what it takes to actually.
It's self-work.
Yes.
It's not pointing the finger elsewhere.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
It's a tremendous amount of. That's why I say I love myself. Because that's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. You love yourself so much that you don't settle.
Now I will say a hug, and someone will say, and
Yeah, now you got it. Because you don't have to share the energy, because you're it. You got it. Ah, I like it. Good job.
Yeah, so I'm very much enjoying this talk. I just want to say that while you were talking, I could see, like, from the holographic field, how we are with these chess words.
Yes.
And then all those movements, and I see you doing this to the table.
Oh,
You know, like, yeah, like coming from all those.
Somebody came up to me a few minutes ago, and I'm like, I'm trying not to read them, right? And I'm like, not going to trespass, not going to trespass. He's talking. I'm like, well, you're doing Ormus, you're doing this, you're doing that. He's like, how? I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't read you, because you don't want to trespass on that energetic field.
Right.
And so you got to ask permission. And so I'm just like, I don't want it. And I'm just like constantly whacking it all off. And it's a really, really fascinating journey for sure.
That happened to me as well. You
Yeah.
know, like that. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to. But
Yeah.
it's inherent, and we're coming from a.
And that's accountability. That's the
Yes.
self-governance and the autonomy that I want to manifest to the world for myself. And so that's what I talk about, my mirror. My mirror, I have to take that accountability for what that is to me. And so, yes. And what energy do I feed, positive or negative? Yeah.
Just so you know, the idea behind the way of being is to bring all of these ideas to a central location and actually put it all together to make reality. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, to really take a serious look at the grammar
Right.
and the constructs that we've put in place. And when you look at the global meritocracy of how they've set up this communication gambit,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a gambit of control, the grammar and the control was given to us. We were not really given the choice in this 1D and 2D, 3D space. So what I did is I went to a position of 0 point with all those locations of control on a global scale.
Now, if we wanted help, how would we get that from you?
Questions, of course. You know,
Yeah.
questions is the best way.
Right.
Really feeling out the energy for yourself. Go do your own research as things are said, and really look at I have websites, and I have teams now globally on every continent, and we're being very successful. Starting to explode a little bit in India now, and so that's interesting. Exploding in Europe and Australia. Just got back from Australia, so it's more about helping the people, and the people are coming together, and they're gonna. I know the correct people will figure it out.
You want to tell people how to find you?
Lastflagstanding.com is where you can find me, and you can watch my documentary series there. We also have a help desk there, And at the help desk, you can ask questions, and there's a lot of Q&A set up there. And so at lastflagstanding.com is where people can find me.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, it's been a blessing. I'm going to hug myself.
Yeah.
Ah!
Hug?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.